Today on One, your daily dose of local affairs and social media commentary.
Today on One, City of Windhoek warns informal settlers about the dangers of floods. Foul play suspected cause of Tololoka fires. Ndaitunga, please stop shooting us, say Shoprite checkers protesters. And MTC records over 2 billion Namibia dollars in revenue for 2019-2020.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
The City of Windhoek's Disaster Risk Management is visiting informal settlements and other flood-prone areas around Windhoek to warn residents about the dangers posed by flash floods, as well as giving advice on what to do when disaster strikes. Week 1 of the flood awareness campaign officially kicked off yesterday, with members from the City of Windhoek's Disaster Risk Management visiting the Havana informal settlement, handing out flyers containing basic steps to follow during a flood.
Basically, we spent 2 hours in a specific area doing the awareness program. So basically, we disseminate flyers, information, and then the residents, when they have questions, they can also pose questions and so forth. That's basically it in a nutshell.
Vendors trading near the Havana four-way intersection and residents in the area were asked to move to higher grounds to avoid any damages to property or even loss of life. But how well does this information sit with the informal traders?
I can see that there's some good news to protect ourselves from flood. And then the problem again, some of the people, they speak Portuguese and then other languages. And then we don't know how I'm going to explain to them.
We get the message, but moving to higher grounds will be a challenge because of the cost involved, unless of course the municipality avails an area to us.
How about they help us set up better stalls that are flood-proof instead of asking us to move?
Usually when it rains, the floods carry a lot of disgusting things with them, including feces. It would be great if the municipality gives us a much better place to set up shop.
In response to those concerned about which area to move to, Boysen Mulako from the Disaster Risk Management had this to say.
They must contact their councillors, then their councillors, through their councillors, then they are going to be registered with our human settlement for them to be relocated to higher grounds. So, but before they go to be relocated at the place that they think they got, they must go back to City of Windhoek Human Settlement, so that they must go and see that area where they are, so that they can see whether that place that they got within the community, is it habitable or is not habitable. They must not just resettle themselves in the area.
Members from the Red Cross Society of Namibia also visited the area to aid those who suffered losses due to the recent floods.
We are here in partnership with the City of Windhoek as we are responding to the flood victims that have been affected by the rainfall. As Namibian Red Cross, we've partnered with the City of Windhoek. So what we are doing basically here is assessing the households that have been damaged by the floods, and thus looking at different social and welfare initiatives that we can support them in this regard.
The flood awareness campaign is divided into 4 weeks and will run until the end of February this year.
We can't wait to get together again, to welcome new friends, meet up with old ones, and play until the sun comes up. We can't wait to fill our stadiums again. In fact, we can't wait to get the whole gang together. But until then, let's stay safe.
Community leaders in Walvis Bay believe that the devastating Tololoka fires, where 27 families have lost their properties and belongings, were intentional.
Get have been burned first, then they told us the tent is finished that side, and they said that we must come back here. Now if we come back here again, you see what happened again. Yeah, the thing has been burned again, so we don't have anything. Yeah, we only remove our lives from the burnings. Yeah, so we left with nothing. Yeah, I'm the man of 2 kids. Now I don't know where to go. I have a woman also.
It was burned most. I don't know what to do. Even we were struggling with work here most. We don't know where the fire came from. We are staying in shantytown. How we call it a shantytown. Maybe we need a new accommodation to stay most. We don't know what we can say. Now we are doing it. We don't know. Our thing is burn it. We didn't take anything. Here is our ghetto. We don't people are struggling to give us land.
The fire happened just one day after Erongo Regional Governor Neville Andre and the Walvis Bay councillors visited the site to assess and brief the residents on the future plans for the settlement.
We spoke about the houses yesterday. Today we have shacks burning again. The question was asked, what about the 27 houses? And I spoke to the chief now. We are not going to handle this situation as previous with floods. This is going to be a serious situation. Investigations will be done, and the person responsible for starting this fire, because it seems like, I won't say it is, it seems like it was started deliberately. So this person involved in this fire will be dealt with in the correct manner. We can't tolerate this kind of things happening. One person's greed is now costing many people their belongings. Their shacks were burned down because of a certain person or people. So we can't really say what happened, but we will investigate, definitely.
Some residents whose structures were untouched were worried that it might soon happen to them and wanted to know what their leaders are doing about the matter.
For now, they need to calm down. I know there's a lot of trauma, there's a lot of things that is going on in their mind. They have lost everything that they have worked for, and then it's not an easy thing for them. They need our support. They need to be comforted, because what really happened, they have lost everything. They really have lost everything, and it's only when we are supporting them and when we are with them, then that is only when they will take it easy.
The Walvis Bay leadership is encouraging the residents to stay calm and ensured that investigations into the matter have started.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
With trusted quality and great value on all Clicks brand products, switch and save. Buy Clicks Made for Baby toiletries from $9.49. Buy Clicks Made for Baby 240 baby wipes, $68.19. Buy Clicks Made for Baby cereal, stage 1 or 2, $27.99 each. Buy Clicks Made for Baby Dry Protect disposable nappies jumbo pack, $185.99. Clicks, feel good, pay less.
Shoprite Checkers employees at Walvis Bay marched to the police headquarters to air their disappointment at the law enforcement officers for the recent brutality inflicted against the striking workers and members of the public at Oshakati. In a petition read by Jason Mwala, who serves as the workers' representative, the group condemned the recent shooting of unarmed and non-violent protesters in Oshakati, who took part in the nationwide protests against the retail giant to demand for better wages.
About 20 fellow striking workers were beaten and shot by the police on 15 January 2021, including some members of the public at Oshakati, Mr. Gabriel Hayambo and Mr. Thomas Naole. One of the striking employees who was shot and several injured, they were admitted at Oshakati State Hospital. We are aggrieved and disappointed by such actions. On this note, we are condemning on strongest manner the brutality actions and shooting of unarmed protesters who was not violent, neither intend to be violent or damage any property or cause any harm to anyone. Namibian police have an obligation and duty to maintain the law and order and protect all citizens of this country. At this point in time of countrywide strike, the police is only protecting the company. Namibian police are deployed at all Shoprite stores and guiding the shop every day as if they are employed by Shoprite. Instead of protecting all Namibians against form of exploitations and non-compliance of the law of this country. We would like to remind Mr. Ndeitunga that Shoprite's employees are Namibians and we do not vote the government to power to protect the interest of capitalists and turn blind eyes on us, the electorate. As striking employees, we are asking Commissioner Amwere Toshana region to publicly apologize to Shoprite workers and the members of the public who was beaten and shot by the police on the 15th January 2021 at Oshakati before Tuesday, 26 January 2021.
The Irongo Regional Commander, Commissioner Andreas Nelumbu, received the petition.
The petition is received. I'm going to take it out just to make sure it is the right one. And as you have heard, from the very beginning, that the reading is addressed to a specific office, although you decided to mention a name. I just want to assure you that the petition that you just handed over and that was read here in the presence of all of us will reach the appropriate and relevant office or authority. And I thank you.
The group also demanded that the police enforce the court order issued against the retail giant to stop recruiting temporary employees to perform the work of those aggrieved employees while they take part in the nationwide strike.
I'm feeling so bad because of I have been arrested. We are trying to sell to provide our kids with food, but the police, they come to arrest us.
I was literally apprehended in Independence Avenue. I mean, there was no prior communications with the police or with Bonn or Benga Namibia. These guys literally just apprehended us on surprise.
And when you are talking in a manner that is exaggerated about brutality in this country, I should ask you in which country you live.
Yes, I can confirm that indeed there were 2 cell phones that were found after a search was conducted at the cells that the Fish Road accused are staying.
Do you understand the amount of money that the government has spent on the fight against COVID-19? Could they have spent 300 million on tracing people and managing people? Is that even possible?
Local mobile telecommunications company MTC presented its integrated report and annual results, of which it revealed that for the 2019-2020 financial year, it has seen a growth of over 2 billion Namibia dollars in revenue and over 7 million Namibia dollars net profit. More results show a 0.5% increase in its EBITDA margin, of which it attributed to a growth in prepaid customer revenue due to various new offerings such as multiple Aware and Tamba products and an increased trend in data traffic. A total of over 9 million in dividends was also declared to its shareholders in 2019, of which over 6 million were paid in December 2019 and 3 million in June 2020.
If you look at the income statement in summary, is that we reported an EBITDA margin increase from 51.5 to 52%. Compared to other listed companies in our region, like the India, Vodafone's, in South Africa, and your Orange, and in Botswana, it's quite a higher number than those. The 2020 results is coming now to the front, and they're in the vicinity of between 38 and 45%. So it's quite a healthy margin on EBITDA. If you look at the cash movement for the year, the company generated cash of 1.4 billion. There was a positive contribution of our working capital and the net interest that we received. We paid taxes of 329, this is the physical cash flow, and our net capital expenditure was 523 million. So we had a free cash flow at the end of the day of 746 million. At the end of the day, it's quite a healthy position that the company generates its own cash to fund its operations.
We want to continue maintaining our position as the leading digital enabler, and we believe that our 100% population coverage initiative, as well as our customer-centric strategy, will enable us to continue being the best and to maintain our position. We want to be the total solution provider, one-stop shop, in short, the digital enabler of choice. And we want to continue nurturing smart partnerships.
The Chief Human Capital at MTC emphasized the company's corporate social responsibility, urging its over 2.5 million active subscribers to continue investing money into it in the interest of national development.
The brand that is in love with what Namibians are all about in terms of development. Yes, it is quite a lot of money in terms of dividends, but it is we very unapologetic about making so much money. For one reason, because this is not a single cent of this money shipped out of the country. It is money that goes back to the shareholder, that takes care of national development issues. And that is why, as a customer, I know we have a lot of people watching us on live stream right now. It is money that you must continue to spend in the interest of development, in the interest of building more schools, roads, and all the other national development challenges that we face. So often we ask people, what does MTC stand for? And most of them say it stands for making a connection. But it's actually a mobile telecommunications company. And that is because it just shows that we are in line with the philosophy of people who don't, they're not interested with what you sell, but why you're doing it. And that's why we continue to make the connection.
Win free airtime with One Africa TV. Share your comments on the channel. WhatsApp your feedback, name and town to 081 200 6659. One Africa TV. It just gets better.
In other leading stories, in solidarity with the Namibian nation fighting the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Bank of Namibia has donated medical equipment worth about $3 million Namibia to the Ministry of Health and Social Services. The medical equipment is tailored to assist the various needs in state hospitals and is essential for the management of patients with COVID-19 related ailments. Additionally, the equipment are useful to the hospitals in the general provision of medical care during and post the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as for non-COVID related medical emergencies. A considerable amount has been set aside to augment the quality and quantities of PPEs in order to protect health workers who continue to be vulnerable to infections. The donation is destined for selected state hospitals in Namibia and specifically in Irongo, Zambezi, Kharas, Kavango East and Hartap regions. Apart from this donation, in its role as a central bank, the Bank of Namibia last year responded to the outbreak of COVID-19 and rolled out relief measures that were supported by a reduction in the repo rate to historic low levels. Furthermore, policy directives and regulatory relief were issued by Bank of Namibia in response to economic and financial stability challenges which continue to be in place. These measures have cushioned households and businesses from the pandemic. Going forward in the collective drive towards economic recovery from the pandemic, the Bank of Namibia will play its role and move forward with efforts to grow the economy more rapidly, working with the government and the private sector to contribute effectively to economic development.
Welcome to Comments Corner, your daily dose of local comments from the hottest social media pages. The Namibian government announced last week that it has acquired enough COVID-19 vaccine doses to vaccinate 20% of the population. Health officials agree that the vaccines from the COVAX facility are some of the safest and best ever developed as a result of the research and testing. Maria said the country should return to stage 1 of the lockdown. Indongo appreciates the vaccine as long as the head of state and cabinet members take the lead. Elizabeth wanted to know if Namibia has done any research on the vaccine. Annette said the entire African continent depends on foreign countries while it has a lot of resources. The Namibian Marshal Rangers have decided to stop assisting the police to maintain law and order and cleaning up at accident scenes on the Namibian roads. Hallelujah said the Marshal Ranger really did a good job, but suspects that it could have to do with his involvement in politics. PK said whether you do good or bad, people will still be angry at you. Angola said Nadia is kind-hearted and should continue helping where he can. Esther said he must pay close attention to his rangers because some are committing crimes and threatening the public. Sudi said Nadia must distance himself from those with hidden agendas. And that is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast every day only on Today and One.
Win free airtime with One Africa TV. Share your comments on the channel. SMS your feedback, name and town to 555. One Africa TV. It just gets better. Win free airtime with hashtag #LearnOnOne. Share your comments on the lessons. WhatsApp your feedback, name and town to 081 200 6659. Hashtag #LearnOnOne. Invite learning in.
A look at the weather forecast. First, a warning from the Windhoek Met Office. Heavy storms are expected in the central north, Otjadon-Jupa, Omaheke and Irongo regions, where flash floods are expected. And heavy storms are also expected over the central coast. Please to take the necessary precautions. The Namibia interior partly cloudy and very hot in the south, elsewhere partly cloudy and warm to hot with isolated thunder showers, but scattered to widespread thunder showers in the central north, Otjadon-Jupa, Omaheke and Irongo regions. The coast partly cloudy and cool to warm with isolated showers and thunder showers over the central and northern coast. The wind moderate to fresh northwesterly.
Yes. Look, Neverland, never ever Neverland. Met the Christ and he turned me to a better man. When you die, tell me what's next, man. Christ is on the right, so I guess I'm on the left hand. Teach me how to dug, teach me how to dug it. Do your sin in public and then everybody does it. Do your thing for Christ and then everybody judges. But I'm in this for life for me, hate it or love it. Chacha Kalunga, you are amazing. I look at stars and I can't stop praising. Look at the sea, no look again. Who told the water this is where you should end? Yes, greatness, greatness, Lord you are greatness. How do you know all the different faces? How do you know the amount of my hair? How do you know what I needed to hear? No one beneath, there is no one above. No one besides that compares to your love. If I slip the cliff, Lord, it's you I would call. The fame of the world means nothing at all.
Shashi,